Now, in the last lecture, you really finished up on creating your buyer persona, and you got those 8 extra ways to gather buyer persona data so you can really pinpoint and find your audience online and fill out this really information here. Now, in this lecture, what we're going to do is move on to the step 2, which is to identify your unique selling proposition and answer this key question really: how will your products or service succeed in the marketplace where others may have failed? So this is a key question. Just because you've identified people who are struggling to get a solution, are you sure that you can really create a solution that's going to solve their problem? And so this is really very integrated with the first question, but it's just as important. It's a tough question, but it's not a small detail that you can skip over. It's really critical to your success. So let's start by kicking off some of the theory here once again. Then I'll run through my example and show you exactly the thinking behind how I developed the unique selling proposition for this course that enabled it, to become pretty successful with over 10,000 students in it now. And then we will really, you can fill out the unique selling proposition for yourself once you've got all that context and background and understanding. So what is a unique selling proposition? Well, this is the way that I like to think about it. A unique selling proposition really defines your position in the marketplace and lets you stand apart from competitors. So this is the key thing. It lets you stand apart from your competitors. And for example, I had a question from a student, and she was talking about, okay, I'm real estate in Dubai for luxury properties. What's my unique selling proposition? And really, there's a lot of different categories there. If you're talking about defining your position in the marketplace, even the luxury property in Dubai, that's very, very broad. Are we talking about commercial real estate? Are we talking about, people who want to buy homes? Are we talking about bachelors who want to buy homes? Are we talking about families who want to buy homes? Are we talking about people who have $10 million, $1 million, $100 million to spend? So you can see there's a huge range of categories there. There's a lot of different positions that you could take in the marketplace. So really think about that for yourself. Another example that I had is in terms of, I'm a restaurant, what's my unique selling proposition? Well, McDonald's is a restaurant. That's about convenience. But also there's the fine dining place in the city center, completely different experience, serving a completely different position in the marketplace and very much standing apart from, say, the McDonald's. So that's what you need to be thinking about as well. So how can you identify your unique selling proposition? Well, there's one real easy trick that I used to develop this course, and I think that I can apply to many, many of your businesses. And that is just to fill the gaps left by your competitors. So what you need to do is go on to and read the customer reviews on sites like Amazon, the App Store, Yelp, TripAdvisor, Fiverr, Udemy, Upwork, whatever your product, and wherever there are similar products being sold on these marketplaces, or even just the review platforms like Yelp. We looked at some of these in the previous lecture. All you have to go in and do is read those reviews. Filter straight to the 3rd and 4th star reviews. Probably the 5-star reviews, they're pretty happy, so they're not going to say anything. 1-star reviews can sometimes be a little bit biased, too negative. So you want to look at those 3 and 4-star reviews and really look for reviews that say something like this. I would have given it 5 stars if, and whatever comes after that if is something that you can add to your product to really be a point of differentiation, that you fulfill that thing that the other product didn't. And that's where you can really fill the gap in the marketplace. Yes, you might only be improving the product by 10-20%, but if that's enough to get a sale, well, then that's all you need to do. So here's an example of that. This is just a review that I picked off Udemy, but it's just something that they would have wanted. You can add that into your product. There's just tons and tons of information out there, guys. People like, I don't know what customers want. All you have to do is go on and read the reviews. It's really that simple. So in terms of another example of this, I've included a video here starting at the exact point that they talk about it, between Tim Ferriss and Noah Kagan. They're kind of well-known marketers, business guys, very analytical in the way they think. And Tim talks about here that how he used this same tactic that I've taught you here to really guarantee the success of his book, The 4-Hour Chef, and I think that ended up being like a New York bestseller. So you can watch that if you want for extra context and proof that this really is a good way to go about it. So now that you've got that context about what a unique selling proposition is, that it defines your position in the marketplace, let's look at some of the questions here, or really my example. Let's start with that. So in terms of how will my products or service succeed in the marketplace where they may have failed? This is something that I thought about before I recorded a single lecture of this course. There's tons of courses on Udemy. There's tons of marketing courses. A lot of them have no students and they haven't really got anywhere. So how is I going to be really different? The product, I think, and service description is something that you can really start getting very clear on straight away. So I was very clear that I was making 15 plus hour marketing course published on Udemy. And you should be very clear about what your solution looks like. What is it actually that people are buying? Is it a course? Is it an app? Is it a consultation call on Skype for 15 minutes? Really get very specific about what is the thing that people are going to buy. Is it an ebook? Is it a book? A hard copy book? Get as clear as possible. After that, I think it's good to define what you're not going to do. So one thing that I didn't want to do in this course is make it very theoretical. I wanted it to be very practical. People could actually go through the process and replicate the results that I had. So that's one thing that I said that I wouldn't do, is make it very, theory based, because I've taken those courses in the past. They're not helpful. Now, next, what will be unique? So this is a key thing about the course. Well, this is really where I think it all came together, making 12 courses in one. And this really ties back to my buyer persona. And you can see now how these are so integrated. I said that my buyer persona, the problem that they have is that they don't know where to get started and they need a step-by-step guidance from zero to first customers. So it really does need to span across all these marketing topics. And I think that's just fantastic value for money. 12 courses in one. I mean, not a lot of people are doing that. Okay, so also it's unique because it's highly actionable, it's project based, and you've got that real life example running through every single section of the course. So just something I'd never seen done before. So I think that really makes it unique as well. Now next, the fourth question that I would ask yourself is, what is the proof that you are going to how are you going to prove that your solution actually works? Because it's one thing to say my solution is great, it works, but how are you going to prove that? And that's really going to really help your marketing if you can prove that your solution works. So I said I'm going to show all my marketing results, be very transparent, show all my analytics. They're all there in the Google Analytics section of this course. I've also got public reviews on this course kind of built into the Udemy system so people can see what other people who've bought the course are saying. So it's great kind of social proof. And also I'm sharing those student success stories on Facebook. So that's part of the marketing as well, proving that it actually does work. So how are you going to prove that your product works? Is it going to be testimonials, reviews, case studies, etc.? I think it's good to really prove that because that can make you very unique in the marketplace as well. In terms of the pricing, now this is again very connected to your buyer persona. I went for a really low price because I know that the high volume can make up for really the good revenue in the end of the day. But really, most importantly, the low price links in with the buyer persona. If I know that they are starting from scratch, they don't have any customers, that means they don't have a lot of revenue, that means they don't have a lot to invest in a course. So instead of me charging like $1,000, I want to make this as accessible as possible and put that low price on it, but make up the difference maybe with a high volume of students and also that 30-day money back guarantee. So think about your product as well. Who are the buyers of your product, and can they really afford a high price, or is it going to be better for you to really stick to a low price or develop a product that can fit in with their budget? So those are some of the things that I would really think about. I've given you my real life example, all the thinking that I had behind this course, and so it's time now for you to really go ahead and do that for yourself. Fill out these questions, and then I'll see you in the next lecture where we're going to really wrap up in this project. We've got an exciting project coming up in the next section. So take a couple of minutes to fill this out. Remember that it doesn't have to be perfect. We can improve this as we go along. But it is important that you get something down on paper now, and you can just think about it as you go and really improve upon it. So take a couple of minutes to fill this out, and I'll see you in the next lecture where we're going to wrap up on this section of the course.